Is everything all right?
This entire movie trailer, every single frame, the characters, the scenes, the cinematography, was made with one tool, not 5 different platforms stitched together, one. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did it, step by step. I'm George, and today we're diving into TapNow, an AI platform that honestly surprised me with how much you can do without ever leaving it. So what is TapNow? Think of it as a full creative workspace for video production. You've got image generation, video generation, audio, storyboarding, mood boards, visual references. Everything lives inside one interface. It's node-based, meaning you build your project visually, connecting pieces together like a production pipeline. And then there's TapTV, their community platform, where creators publish not just their finished videos, but their entire workflows, so you can see exactly how someone built a commercial, an animation, or a short film, and you can clone that workflow and build on top of it. It's basically open source filmmaking. They recently launched something called cinemalab, a set of professional film-grade features including multi-angle control, lens combo, motion control, point to edit, and more. I'll be using most of these throughout this tutorial, and you'll see exactly where and why each one matters. Now, let me show you how I built this movie trailer from scratch. The link to TapNow is in the description. Go check it out, sign up, and you can follow along as I build this. Alright, let's start building. When you create a new project in TapNow, you land on this canvas, a clean, open workspace. This is where everything happens. It's node-based, so instead of a traditional timeline, you're connecting building blocks together, images, videos, audio, text, each one as a separate node that feeds into the next. If you double-click anywhere on the canvas, you get your node options: text, image, video, audio, and upload. That's your entire production toolkit right there. Now, on the right side, you've got this built-in chat assistant. This is actually one of the most useful parts of the workspace. You can switch between different modes here: chat mode for general brainstorming and questions, storyboard planning, which generates visual scene breakdowns from your story idea, Moodboard, which creates style references in about 30 seconds, and find inspiration, which pulls up visual references to guide your creative direction. So before you even generate a single image, you can plan your entire project right here. Before we start, I'll rename this project to Movie Trailer, just to keep things organized. The first thing I'm going to do is use the Storyboard Planning feature. Instead of jumping straight into image generation, I want to plan out my scenes first. I'll switch to Storyboard Planning mode in the chat, and give it a short description of what I want. So I just described the concept in a few sentences: the characters, the story arc, and the visual tone, and TapNow will generate a full scene-by-scene storyboard from that. This saves a lot of time because now I can see the structure of my trailer before I create a single frame. And just like that, TapNow generated a full 12-shot storyboard with line art visuals for each scene. This gives you a clear visual roadmap before you start creating anything. You can see the flow, adjust the order, or rework scenes before committing to actual image and video generation. Now that we have our storyboard, let's start building the actual visuals. The first step is designing our characters. I want to create all 4 characters first: Marcus, Danny, Ray, and Sophia, so I can use them as reference images later when generating the actual scenes. This keeps everything consistent throughout the trailer. I'll double-click on the canvas to open the node menu and select Image. Once the image node appears, you'll see options at the bottom. You can choose your AI model from Banana Pro, TapNow Flash, Grok 2, Seed Dream, Midjourney, and more. For character design, I'll go with Banana Pro. You can set the aspect ratio and resolution, and there's also this lens combo feature, which is part of cinemalab. Lens combo lets you pick a specific camera body, lens, focal length, and aperture, like shooting with a Sony Venice on a Zeiss Ultra Prime at 24mm. It's designed for when you want a specific cinematic look in your shots. We'll come back to this later for our actual scenes, but for now, we're just generating clean character designs, so I'll leave it off. Let's start with Marcus, our lead character. And here's our Marcus, exactly what we needed. Clean, photorealistic, solid background, ready to be used as a reference in every scene he appears in. Now I'll create the remaining 3 characters, Danny, Ray, and Sophia, using the same method. All 4 characters are ready. Now it's time to start building our actual scenes. The first scene is Marcus walking past a bank building with a coffee in hand, a casual, cinematic establishing shot. To do this, I'll click the plus icon on Marcus's image node and create a new image generation Generation node. This connects Marcus as a reference, so TapNow knows to keep his appearance consistent in the new scene. Now, this is where cinemalab's lens combo comes in. Earlier, I skipped it for the character designs, but for actual scenes, this is where it makes a real difference. Lens combo lets you simulate a specific camera and lens setup, just like choosing your gear on a real film set. Let me set it up for this shot. For the camera body, I'm going with Arri Alexis 65. This is the camera behind films like The Revenant and Blade Runner 2049. It captures incredibly detailed, large format images with a natural, organic feel that digital cameras often lack. It gives you that high-end cinematic texture right away. For the lens, Canon K35. These are vintage cinema lenses from the 1970s that have become a cult favorite in modern filmmaking. They produce warm, slightly soft images with beautiful natural flares and a character that modern lenses just don't have, perfect for our warm, everyday life scenes. Focal length 24mm. This is a wide enough angle to capture both Marcus and Sophia in the frame, giving us that establishing shot feel, where we see the character in his environment. It's wide but not so extreme that it distorts the image. And aperture f11. This keeps most of the frame in focus, so both Marcus in the foreground and the bank building behind him are sharp and visible. For an establishing shot, you want the audience to see the full environment, not just a blurred background. And here's our first scene, Marcus walking past the bank with a coffee, golden hour lighting, exactly what we planned. Notice how TapNow kept his face and clothing consistent with our original character design. That's the power of using reference nodes. Now for scene 2, we need both Marcus and Sophia at a cafe. So this time I'll create a new image generation node and connect both Marcus and Sophia's character images as references. This way, TapNow uses both characters to maintain consistency in the same frame. Scene 2 is done, Marcus and Sophia at the cafe, and the consistency is on point. Both characters match their original designs perfectly, even in a completely different setting with different lighting setup. That's exactly what you want when you're building a multi-scene project like this. Now scene 3. This is where the tone starts to shift. The three guys are at a bar. For this one, I'll connect Marcus, Danny, and Ray as references. Scene 3 is done, the bar scene with all three guys, and again, the character consistency held up across a completely different environment and lighting setup. So now you understand the workflow. You create your character references once, connect them to each new scene node, write a prompt describing the scene, and TapNow generates a consistent cinematic frame every time. I'll use this exact same workflow to generate the visuals for all remaining scenes. Once all the scene images are ready, we'll move on to converting them into video. Alright, all the scene visuals are generated and ready. Now comes the exciting part, turning these still images into actual video clips. Before we jump into video generation, let me quickly show you some additional image editing tools. When you click on any generated image, you get a toolbar at the top with options like redraw, erase, enhance, outpainting, cutout, change angle, and relight. These are all part of cinemalab and give you extra control over your images before converting them to video. For example, let me show you change angle. This is the multi-angle control feature. You get a 3D cube that you can drag to adjust the camera perspective on your existing image. You can control rotation, tilt, scale, and even toggle a wide angle lens option. So if I want to see Marcus from a slightly different angle in this scene, I just drag the cube and generate. No need to write a new prompt or start from scratch. This is incredibly useful when a shot is almost perfect, but the angle isn't quite right. Alright, now let's move on to video generation. I'll double-click on the canvas to create a new video node and connect it to our first scene image. This tells TapNow to use that image as the first frame of the video, so it animates directly from what we've already created. Let me walk you through the video settings. First, you choose your AI model, and this is where TapNow really stands out. You have access to the latest video generation models right here. Kling 3.0 Omni just dropped and it's already available, along with Kling 3.0, Kling 01, VO 3.1 in 4K, Seed Dance 2.0, which is coming soon and will be available in a couple of days. I'll go with Kling 3.0. Next, the video settings. Aspect ratio. I'm keeping it at 16:9 since we're making a cinematic trailer. Resolution stays on auto. Duration, 5 seconds per clip, which is exactly what we planned for each scene. And generate audio, I'm turning this on, which means Kling will automatically generate sound effects that match the video. Alright, let's insert the prompt and generate our first video clip. The result looks great, smooth motion, the lighting carried over from the original image, and Marcus stays consistent throughout the clip. That's exactly what you want from an image to video generation. Let's move on to scene 2, Marcus and Sophia at the cafe. Same process. I'll create a new video node and connect it to the cafe scene image. Settings stay the same. Let's hit generate and wait for the result. Scene 2 came out really well. The natural movement between the two characters feels organic, the warm lighting is consistent with our original image, and the small details like the coffee steam and the string lights bring the scene to life. This is the kind of quality that makes AI-generated video actually usable in a final edit. So now you get the idea. The same workflow applies to every remaining scene. Connect the scene image to a new video node, keep the same settings, write a prompt describing the motion and atmosphere, and generate. I'll do this for all the remaining scenes: the bar, the tension at home, the planning, the last night, and so on. All the video clips are generated for every scene. On top of that, I created 2 extra shots: an aerial drone shot of the city skyline for the very opening of the trailer, and a title card with the movie name The Last Deal and Coming Soon for the ending. You can see the full workflow on the canvas, from character references on the left, through scene images, all the way to the final video clips on the right. Now it's time to take care of the audio. Inside cinemalab, you can create both voiceovers and background music using ElevenLabs. Double-click on the canvas, select Audio node, and you get 2 options: text-to-speech for voiceovers or music for generating background tracks. In our case, we need trailer music, so I'll select music and enter this prompt. And just like that, we have a 1-minute cinematic track that fits the trailer perfectly. Heavy bass, dramatic tension, exactly the kind of music you'd hear in a modern blockbuster trailer. So everything is ready. All that's left is downloading all the video clips and the music track and assembling them in any video editor into one final piece. And the result is what you're about to see right now.
Is everything all right?
We go through the main door. Everybody get down! We are interrupting this broadcast for a critical update.
Now, before we wrap up, let me show you TapTV. This is TapNow's creator community, and it's a huge part of what makes this platform special. When you open TapTV, you'll find a library of creations from other creators: TV commercials, animations, narrative films, music videos, tutorials, all organized by category. But here's the key thing: it's not just a showcase. When you click on any project, you can watch the final video and then hit Get Recipe to see the creator's entire workflow. Every node, every prompt, every connection. You can even clone the full project with one click and start building on top of it. It's basically open source filmmaking. And it works both ways. I'm going to publish my full movie trailer workflow to TapTV as well, so you'll be able to open it, see exactly how I built every scene, clone it, and create your own version. You can find the share button right here in the project. Hit Publish to TapTV, and your creation goes live for the community. If your work stands out, TapNow actually rewards creators with credits and visibility through their creator program, so it's worth putting your best work out there. My full workflow link will be in the description. Click it, clone the project, and try building your own trailer or short film. I'd love to see what you come up with. So, to quickly recap, we built an entire cinematic bank heist trailer using just one tool. From storyboarding and character design, through scene generation with lens combo and consistent character references, to video generation with Kling 3.0,
music with ElevenLabs, and finally publishing the whole thing to TapTV. All inside TapNow, no jumping between platforms. The links to TapNow and my full TapTV workflow are both in the description. If this was helpful, leave a like, drop a comment telling me what kind of project you'd build with this, and subscribe if you want to see more tutorials like this. I'm George, see you in the next one.